Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Like I said in my latest channel update video, this year I intend to review all of Ayumi Hamasaki albums, and we start with the album that started it all, A Song for XX. Before we get started, I want to remind you that this is simply my opinion on the album, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Ayumi Hamasaki is a pillar of Japanese pop music. She has released 19 albums and 6 mini-albums throughout 20 years, and on the channel there will be 19 reviews coming your way in the span of 19 weeks. That's right. Every Monday, starting today until May, you'll have to be a little bit patient because I have decided to put one review out every week instead of the usual one review a day. And that is because I simply want to really take the time to work on my reviews without feeling rushed and just really enjoy the albums and give you my full in-depth opinion. And today, like I say, we start with my first review, and it's about a debut album released in 1999, A Song for XX. So this album actually was released 20 years ago this year, and it is pretty much the album that started it all for Ayumi Hamasaki. It came out after a couple of singles were released in 1998, and in good late 90s tradition, this album goes beyond the 1 hour timestamp and contains a lot of songs, so let's just get into it. And as much as IU was part of my discovery of J-pop, I never really got into her early days and early albums, and that's why A Song for XX isn't an album that I really listened to until I decided to review it. And as always with debut albums, there is this quest for identity. What will make people want to listen to your music and make you a success? And that is why A Song for XX definitely feels like an album that follows a pretty standard and safe trajectory. I mean, you get the fun songs such as You, A Song for XX, Friend, the emotional ballads like Wishing, For My Dear, or the cutesy ones like Present and so on. And you can really tell that this album really tries everything that was trending in J-pop back then. And it does feel very 90s, but not in a bad way at all. If anything, I was surprised by how much I enjoyed this debut album. I mean, sure, it feels dated, because it's really a style of pop music that you just don't get anymore nowadays, and it's not making a comeback. And honestly, that makes it even more enjoyable to me. I just love this cheesiness so much because it feels so authentic to a time where everything sounded simpler. And this album being the first one is actually quite impressive on its own, and it definitely opened the door for Ayumi's career. The album does feel very polished to a fault. I mean, there isn't anything that screams, I'm different. And yet, just enough personality and charisma on Ayumi's hand to really make this album work. Her voice, I never found annoying. You get used to her almost pitched tone, although it's always quite pleasant here, and I just don't recall being tired of it every time I listen to the album. This said, the album does have a few flaws. For example, I think the music style is a little bit repetitive. I mean, we get 16 songs if we count the intro. And I feel like because of nowadays we're so used to album being around 45 minutes or even less, that sitting down for almost an hour and 15 minutes seems a bit long to me, but I do think the album flows quite well, and while I was working on preparing all the folders and files for my reviews, I realized I was really focused thanks to this album. I also don't know why the intro prologue is so long, and when I heard it for the first time, I feared the entire album was going to be that cheesy. Thankfully, it never goes as far as this one, and her intro interludes will evolve accordingly throughout her career. Overall, A Song for XX is an album of its time. It's full of cheesy 90s tunes, and for an album that was released in winter, there is something terribly warm about it. I did feel the nostalgia effect. I mean, it's quite cute to listen to a debut album. But I also realized that the album feels very coherent, always on the edge of being too repetitive, but there are enough songs to entertain you and give you enough diversity. And that is why I give it 4 stars. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to tell me what you think of the album down below, and I'll see you next week for my review of Love Appears.